What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be digging into the latest events in the Black Clover story, including Yuno's intense training arc and what appears to be a brand new devil form for Asta. Black Clover has been absolutely crazy lately, and it's all building up to a massive final showdown against the Dark Triad. The clock is ticking. Time is running out. It's absolutely epic, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the Black Clover content here on the channel and you want us to keep it going, please leave a like and comment. It really helps a lot. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you just haven't subscribed yet, make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. I always say this, but you really have to go through the trouble of hitting that bell and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do it, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos, even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. Finally, this video will of course contain Black Clover manga spoilers. We're talking about the very latest info in the manga, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The new installment of the story starts off with Yuno, who is undergoing his own training arc at the same time that Asta and Liebe are trying to fight Nacht. At first, Yuno is training by himself and working hard to perfect his wind magic. He's like straight up leaving massive craters in mountains with his wind magic, which is insane. But then Langris shows up. Langris is of course Finral's brother and a man who is currently going through his own little redemption arc. Yuno seems to be determined to train on his own, and he has already planned out a strategy to take Xenon down. Yuno definitely has a lot to prove, and he is determined to make up for his failure to protect his fellow Golden Dawn members earlier on. As the current vice captain of the Golden Dawn, Yuno is willing to do whatever it takes to make Xenon pay for killing multiple members of his squad. And of course, Yuno is willing to do whatever it takes to save his captain William. However, while just training on his own, Yuno has been unable to actually confirm how effective his planned strategy against Xenon will end up being in a real battle. Conveniently though, Langris possesses spatial magic just like Xenon, or rather Xenon's devil. So Langris might be the perfect sparring partner for Yuno. Langris can help Yuno test out his anti-Xenon strategies in real time, which could prove to be extremely useful in the actual battle once that battle comes. And even though Yuno would prefer to train by himself, he recognizes that this is an issue that involves the entire Golden Dawn squad, not just himself. As a result, he accepts Langris's offer to train together, and this definitely shows that Yuno has matured as a person and as a vice captain. Even though he normally keeps to himself and focuses on perfecting his own abilities, this situation calls for a different approach. At the end of the day, this isn't about Yuno and his personal pride. His captain's life is at stake, the honor of the Golden Dawn is at stake, and the memory of Yuno's fallen comrades is at stake. Yuno then shows that he is willing to put his own personal feelings and his own personal pride aside for the greater good. And of course, Langris has been moving towards becoming a better person ever since the Elf Saga, so I do think that these two are going to make great sparring partners. Both of these guys have something to prove, and both of them are extremely powerful magic knights. Now, when we last left the battle between Asta and Liebe versus Nacht, Liebe was in his chibi form and Asta was on his feet and ready to do battle. Asta was using Yami's katana as his weapon of choice, and according to the official Viz translation, the name of that sword is now the Demon Slasher Sword. So the Demon Decapitator name was just the unofficial name, even though I honestly prefer it to the Demon Slasher Sword. I mean, slashing is something that literally any blade can do, and Decapitator just sounds cooler, but hey, that's just me. Anyway, since the end of the previous chapter, the situation has changed drastically. Asta and Liebe are no longer on their feet and ready to do battle. In fact, they are both flat on their backs and down for the count. Oh, and Liebe is no longer in his chibi form. It seems that Nacht has been absolutely crushing them over and over again, and based on what's been happening so far, Asta can't even imagine a scenario in which he and Liebe could actually win. Nacht is absolutely dominating the fight, and he isn't even using his full power yet, So, at the moment, the situation seems pretty hopeless for Asta and Liebe. Because Asta and Liebe are unable to access that Devil Union mode that Nacht can access with Gimodello, they simply can't compete with Nacht's level of power. But their training isn't over yet. After eating some food that heals their injuries and their stamina, Asta and Liebe are ready to fight once again. And Asta seems to have a brilliant idea for how they can fight more effectively. Asta gets Liebe to literally sit on his shoulders so that the two of them can fight together as one. Liebe thinks that Asta has to be joking, but Asta says that no, fighting like this may actually force them to work together in new and more effective ways. I mean, this looks pretty hilarious under the circumstances, and Liebe doesn't really buy it, and then some pretty hilarious awkwardness and bickering ensues. As Liebe and Asta argue about what their strategy should actually be, Nacht warns them that their training time is almost up. It's already been 2 days, and Nacht decides that now is the time to take drastic measures. Asta and Liebe will either finally manage to defeat him, or they will die trying. In that moment, Nacht unleashes his Devil Mana Zone and everything around them is covered in darkness. Not only is it pitch black and Asta and Liebe can't see anything, but they also can't sense any kind of key or presence in this darkness. Which means that at this point, there is no way for them to anticipate or dodge Nacht's attacks. Asta and Liebe suddenly find themselves in a position of absolute fear and hopelessness. It seems that they are about to die without fulfilling their most important goals, which are of course saving Yami and avenging Lichita's death. And this moment of utter desperation awakens something within the two of them. Asta and Liebe refuse to die here. They refuse to let Yami die, and they refuse to leave their goals unfinished and their dreams incomplete. A small spark of light breaks through Nacht's pitch black mana zone, and as Nacht looks on in absolute shock, and it's really a surprise to even see Nacht reacting this way, a new power awakens within Asta. A new power that seems to be changing Asta's eye. The heavy implication here is that we have a brand new Asta Devil form, most likely Asta's Devil Union form, his assimilation of his Devil Liebe. It seems to me that Nacht deliberately orchestrated this moment of desperation, this feeling of hopelessness and imminent death within Asta and Liebe, in order to basically force this new power to awaken within them. I know that we met Nacht only recently, but I am sure that he wasn't actually planning on killing them. I'm sure that he had everything planned out perfectly, and this exact outcome was his intention from the start. That said, the most likely scenario is that Asta just assimilated Liebe into his body temporarily, like Nacht assimilated Gimodello earlier using his Devil Union mode Canis. If this is indeed the case, then we could expect Asta to take on a new physical form just like Nacht did, and we could expect Asta to unlock new powers and abilities. And I expect these abilities to be a major power-up because there is no more time for training, the clock is ticking, and Yami's life is in imminent danger. As such, I think that this new form will make Asta exponentially stronger, although it probably will have some limitations. For example, I imagine that he'll only be able to use it for a certain amount of time before reverting back to his normal form. And after everything that we've seen in these past few chapters, I think that this is the perfect way to handle Asta's power-up. We all knew that Asta needed to get stronger somehow and quickly in order to play an important role in the fight against the absolutely overpowered Dark Triad. But at first, we didn't know how exactly Asta was going to get so strong so quickly. After everything we've learned about Liebe and Asta and their connection, after the two of them realize that they share the same goals and aspirations, and that they have the same type of determination when it comes to doing the right thing for their loved ones, actually having Asta and Liebe unite as one in a new form is the perfect way to symbolize their newly developing bond. Their training isn't over yet, but I think that Asta and Liebe have just unlocked a new form and a major new power-up, and I can't wait to see what this new form looks like and what it can do. What do you guys think? Did Asta just unlock a major new form that involves temporarily assimilating Liebe into his body? And what do you think this new form will look like? Also, what powers and abilities will the new Asta have? Definitely share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Black Clover content right here on the channel, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. It really helps a lot. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you just haven't subscribed yet, make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for making videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma, disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Ingrata, The World, Acquired Respect, Liam Thompson, Pate Heffa, Red Haired Raven, Rithian YX, Emperor Otaku, Thomas Jones, Spidey Life Tanel, and Baked Buddhist. Finally, thank you to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Cricket XP, Joe Stanton, Rathuin Deora, Very Gucci, Jessica Calafond, Alicia Octer, Hinokami and Water, Bonnie Parks, Florian, Joanne Garcia, Jack Watches Anime, Amanda C, Deadly Saint, High School DxD 73, Matthew Cruz, and Anthony Schreiber. If you enjoy our videos and you believe that they add value to you, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.